first of all, I just want to thank everyone for coming, especially the boys. Now, one thing about playing professional sport is you play for your mates and you don't let each other down. So to see all you boys here today, really appreciate that.
I know.
I started off my journey in rugby league as a small boy from Whakatane, chasing a dream, and I'll leave this game as a grown man who learned a lot of life lessons and I think turned into a pretty good person. I feel privileged and honoured that what the game has given me, the life I've been able to live, 19 seasons in the NRL, is double the length of my life that I've been able to live. So it's been a long time for me. I want to thank the NRL for letting me be a part of this great game. I'd like to thank the West Tigers, South Sydney Rabbitohs, the Brisbane Broncos and the St. George Illawarra Dragons for the opportunity to represent those four great clubs. I'd like to make special mention to South Sydney, Blake, Wayne, the club for the opportunity to, in my opinion, finish on my terms, for the chance to represent this great club, wear the jersey, play with such a great team, and I feel like really help my legacy be in a place where I really want it to be when I finish playing this game. So thank you, South Sydney Rabbitohs. I'd like to make extra mention of the West Tigers, where I'm a life member. I spent the majority of my rugby league life playing for the West Tigers. Won a competition in 2005 with them, something I'll never forget, but had the opportunity to play in front of a lot of fans. In my opinion, my greatest fans and the people who followed me throughout my career and gave me a great opportunity. And I'd like to thank all my coaches, starting with my school coach, Greg Lenton from Kibra Park, who, even though I played a lot different, I had this big, jumpy, ugly-looking sidestep thing that everyone thought was weird. I used to do these wacko passes and everyone thought was not normal. And this guy, Greg Lenton, encouraged me to be able to play the way that I want to play and let those talents come out. I'd like to thank all my other coaches I had throughout the years, and I'd like to make special mention of Tim Sheens, who really helped me come through and become the player that I am today. His mentorship, his coaching, his encouragement of me being able to use my skills is second to none. And I'd also like to make special mention of the guy sitting next to me, Wayne Bennett. I know Wayne knows this, but I would have been retired about 7 years ago if it wasn't for him giving me the opportunity at Brisbane. Sometimes you just have a special connection as player and coach, and some people would say father and son. But Wayne, I really want to thank you for the opportunity and for you believing and trusting in me to have this moment today, because without being here, I don't think this would be the same. So thank you, mate. I'd like to thank my extended family, the Marshall family. I'd like to thank my parents, Mick and Onley Doherty, my mum, Lydia, my two brothers, Jordan and Jeremy, Uncle Ben's and Auntie Michelle, and the extended family. Your support. And I got a message off my cousin this morning who really summed it up for me is, I've done a lot of things in my career. I've had a lot of highlights, a lot of proud moments in my achieving life. But the thing I'm most proud of is what I got told this morning. And that's I set a pathway for our family to follow that was different from the normal back home. Gave them something to aspire to, something to chase. I made it possible for them that if I could live my dream, they can live their dreams. So that's what I'll be most proud of. I'm really proud I got the opportunity to have both my kids with me in my last game on the field. They mean the world to me, Fox and Eva, really special. And I don't know if I forgot anyone. Better not. I'd like to thank my wife, Zoe, for being my rock, my constant support. People don't understand when you ride the wave of the sport, there's highs and lows, and through the lows, you pick me up. and through the highs, you held me high. I'll be forever grateful for the sacrifice that you made for me to be able to live my dreams, including the 2 weeks quarantine that I had to spend with you. It was such a pleasure. But I owe a lot of this back end of my career to what you've helped me achieve, and I really love you for that. You know, I was looking back at some highlights this morning, and you know, I've done some good stuff. You know, seriously, from a flashy young kid doing all this weird stuff to a man who's given this opportunity, I feel really lucky. So I just didn't want to miss this opportunity to say thank you to all the fans in general in rugby league. You know, as rugby league players, without the fans, we don't get to do what we do. We don't get to put on a show for you guys. Like there's no other feeling like it. You know, running out in front of a packed stadium with your fans cheering or booing. There's nothing like it. They're the best fans in the world. So to you guys, thank you. I'll be forever grateful for this opportunity. Thanks.
I'll just ask Wayne to say a few words about Benji.
Well, I didn't think you could be that serious for this long, Benji. That's the first thing I learned today. So I've learned another lesson working with you. But what a remarkable career. And I think how he's presented himself here today makes you realise what the game's done for him and what he's done for the game. I've had the pleasure of coaching him at 2 clubs and also in the New Zealand team when we're all part of the winning World Cup side. And I've always gravitated towards him. When I saw him first play, as I said on countless occasions, I would be over football, but I want to watch him play. It was so exciting. He just brought that unpredictability, which was part of his game all his career. And but there was another part that I learned about him. I think I picked him in the All-Stars team initially, and I learned about what a great bloke he is and how committed he is to everything around him, team, mateship, all the things that are important, and family. And I've seen him evolve from being single to being married with 2 children now and accepting responsibilities that go with that. But at the same time, he's remained Benji. Always been fun to be around, but also the serious side when it comes performance time, training time, whatever. I think one of the great things he brought for us this year, which a lot of people wouldn't realise, was just the mentoring of some of our younger players. He just naturally does it. It's not something that he's makes himself do. He just naturally does it because he cares. He wants them to have the opportunities that he's had and be in the teams that he's been in and share all those wonderful moments we have together. At South Sydney, we've got a really rare group of players that I think help each other enormously, but he just fitted into it, took his place in it, and made a difference to all of us. I've never had any hesitation when he's rang me to look for a club on the 2 occasions when things were a bit tough for him, but because I just always loved what he brought. And I also knew what a great team man he was, and always dumbfounded me a little bit to think that clubs could not see those values. I mean, sometimes as you get older, it gets a little bit more than just the actual football you can play. It's how much influence you can have on the group around you as well. And he brought all of those things. And I love what his cousin wrote to him today. He's right. He influenced the whole generation of his family, but he also had a great influence on a whole generation of rugby league people, particularly guys that played his position. And, at my first coaching part of my life was Alan Langer was a guy that everybody wanted to watch, but then along came Benji, and he was the guy that everybody wanted to watch. So you had a wonderful career, mate. And as you've said, and I totally agree, being able to go out on your terms. And I'll just leave you this little story on him. When he rang me, I as I said previously, I asked a senior playing group, and we're all across the board. We all wanted to do that. I talked to coaching staff. We all wanted to have him there, but without hesitation, I just said to him, "You'll be number 14, and that's how we'll play it, and that's how we get through the season." He didn't blink. He said, "That's great with me, coach." He said, "As long as I'm in the 17," he said, "I'll play anywhere you want me to play." And he did that through the season. He played it from hooker to every position in the back line at some stage of the year. So, mate, I'm so pleased today you came here to thank all your fans as well, because, as I said, I think it was probably the most intimidated I've ever been to a game of football was the first night you played for South, and we're at the footy stadium, and you got up and started to warm up, and the crowd started to go off. They wanted you on the field. And normally I don't, listen to all that stuff, but they carried on there for about 2 or 3 minutes, and you kept warming up, making out you were warming up. You're just trying to get my attention. And I thought they would have hung me if I didn't put you on. But, I love the way the South fans accepted you in the club as well, mate. They just thought you were one of theirs all of their career. And that just says what you mean to the game. And my last point is your playing career was unblemished, mate. You played the game in the right spirit right till the end. There was no rubbish in you. There was can't remember you ever being sent off. 19 seasons of just doing your absolute best. So congratulations on your career, mate, and on your retirement today.
Thanks, buddy.